He seemed so normal, blending effortlessly into the crowd. Successful, handsome even. He had the kind of presence that drew people in, making them feel at ease. Christopher Bernard Wilder moved easily through the world, flashing a winning smile that could disarm even the most cautious. He was a self-made man, a property developer who had built his empire from the ground up. He enjoyed the finer things in life: fast cars, beautiful women, and exotic travel. His lifestyle was the envy of many. But beneath the surface a darkness lurked, hidden from the world. A monster hid in plain sight, masked by his charm and success. Wilder was a predator, driven by twisted desires that he kept well concealed. He craved control, power over the innocent, and he knew exactly how to get it. And he found his victims in the most vulnerable of prey. Young women with dreams of beauty and fame, eager to make it big. Wilder used his charm as a weapon, a tool to lure them in. He approached women with compliments, making them feel special and noticed. He made promises of a glamorous life filled with opportunities and success. He would offer them a chance to model, to step into a world they had only dreamed of, to see their faces on magazine covers, to become the stars they always wanted to be. Who could resist such an offer? Many didn't. They were captivated by the possibilities. They saw in him a path to their dreams, a way to achieve what seemed impossible. They didn't see the evil that lay beneath, the true nature of the man behind the smile. They didn't see the monster that would soon claim their lives hidden behind a facade of charm and success. Wilder specifically targeted aspiring models. He frequented beauty pageants, posing as a photographer. He would approach young women, promising them a chance to jumpstart their careers. He would offer to take their pictures to introduce them to industry professionals. All they had to do was trust him. His words were like a siren song, drawing them in with promises of a brighter future. He gave them hope. He gave them attention. He made them feel special. And then, he would strike. He would isolate them, take them away from everything they knew. He would trap them in his web of lies and deceit. And once he had them, he would unleash the monster within. Wilder's reign of terror began in the late 1970s. His first known victims disappeared from Florida shopping malls. Young women, lured away with promises of modeling contracts. They were never seen alive again. As the bodies began to surface, a chill settled over the Sunshine State. The authorities realized they were dealing with a predator of the most cunning kind. But Wilder was just getting started. He was a phantom, drifting from town to town, leaving a trail of heartbreak and despair in his wake. His crimes spanned the country, from Florida to California, from Texas to New York. Everywhere he went, young women vanished. The fear spread like wildfire. Parents kept their daughters close. Communities lived in terror, wondering when and where the monster would strike again. The details of Wilder's crimes were chilling, sending shivers down the spines of even the most seasoned investigators. Each crime scene was a macabre tableau, meticulously arranged to instill fear and dread. He would often torture his victims before ending their lives, drawing out their suffering as if it were a twisted form of art. The agony he inflicted was both physical and psychological, leaving scars that would never heal. He seemed to take a perverse pleasure in their suffering, deriving a sick sense of satisfaction from their pain. His methods were as varied as they were brutal, each more horrifying than the last. He would bind them, gag them, subject them to unimaginable horrors. The terror in their eyes was a sight he relished, a testament to his complete control over their fate. He documented his crimes with photographs, each image a testament to his depravity. These photos were not just mementos, they were trophies, proof of his dominance and cruelty. The photos were gruesome, horrifying, capturing the final moments of his victims' lives in excruciating detail. They were a window into the mind of a madman, a glimpse of the darkness that consumed him. They revealed the depths of his madness, the utter lack of humanity that dwelled within him. The authorities were baffled, struggling to comprehend the sheer evil they were up against. Wilder left few clues behind, his meticulous nature ensuring that he remained a ghost, an enigma that eluded capture. He was a ghost, moving silently through the night, his presence felt but never seen. He was a master of evasion, slipping through the fingers of law enforcement time and time again. He was meticulous in covering his tracks, leaving no trace of his presence. Every step he took was calculated, every move designed to confound and mislead. He was always one step ahead, always watching, always waiting for his next victim. His vigilance was unnerving, his patience terrifying. The FBI joined the investigation, realizing they were dealing with a serial predator who crossed state lines with impunity. His ability to evade capture was unprecedented, his cunning unmatched. They dubbed him the Beauty Queen Killer, a moniker that spoke to his gruesome predilection for young women with aspirations of beauty and fame. His choice of victims was as chilling as his methods, each one a tragic story cut short by his hand. The manhunt for Christopher Wilder intensified. His face was plastered on wanted posters across the country. His crimes were featured on national news programs. The public was warned to be on the lookout for this charming monster, this wolf in sheep's clothing. But Wilder was a master manipulator. He was able to blend in, to appear normal, even as he plotted his next move. He was a chameleon, changing his appearance, using aliases, always staying one step ahead of the law. He continued to evade capture, his crimes becoming increasingly brazen. He seemed to revel in the attention, in the fear he instilled. He was playing a deadly game of cat and mouse with the authorities, and he was winning. The body count continued to rise, each victim a stark reminder of the monster that walked among them. The authorities knew they had to catch him, before he killed again, but time was running out. In the spring of 1984, Wilder made a fatal mistake. He abducted a young woman from a shopping mall in New Hampshire, but this time, someone saw him. They got a good look at his face, his car. They contacted the authorities, and finally, the net began to close in. The FBI tracked Wilder to a motel in New York. They surrounded the building, hoping to catch him alive. They wanted answers. They wanted justice for the victims and their families. But Wilder was not going down without a fight. As the FBI closed in, he panicked. A struggle ensued. Shots rang out. When the smoke cleared, Christopher Wilder lay dead on the floor, a bullet wound in his chest. He had taken his own life, choosing death over capture. The monster was finally dead, but the terror he inflicted would live on in the hearts of his victims' families. Christopher Wilder's reign of terror was over, but his crimes left an indelible mark on the American psyche. He became a cautionary tale, a reminder that monsters can lurk in the most unexpected places. His case highlighted the vulnerabilities of young women, the dangers of trusting strangers, no matter how charming they may seem. It forced law enforcement agencies to rethink their strategies for catching serial predators, to improve communication and coordination across state lines. In the aftermath of Wilder's killing spree, parents warned their children about the dangers of talking to strangers. Young women were taught to be wary of anyone who approached them with promises of fame and fortune. The case sparked a national conversation about violence against women, about the need for greater awareness and prevention. Wilder's legacy was one of fear, but also of change. The Christopher Wilder case, as horrifying as it was, led to important changes in law enforcement and public awareness. Wilder, a serial killer who terrorized the nation in the 1980s, left a trail of devastation that prompted a re-evaluation of investigative techniques and interagency cooperation. The FBI implemented new protocols for tracking serial killers, including the creation of the National Center for the Analysis of Violent Crime. This center became a pivotal resource, offering specialized support and expertise to local and state law enforcement agencies. This specialized unit focuses on analyzing patterns and behaviors of violent offenders, helping to identify and apprehend them more effectively. By studying the psychological profiles and modus operandi of serial criminals, the unit can predict future actions and prevent further crimes. The case also led to the creation of the Violent Criminal Apprehension Program, a national database designed to collect and analyze information on unsolved homicides, sexual assaults, and missing persons cases. This database allows for the cross-referencing of data from different jurisdictions, making it easier to spot connections between seemingly unrelated cases. Wilder's crimes forced law enforcement agencies to acknowledge the need for greater collaboration and information sharing. Agencies that once operated in silos began to work together, sharing critical information that could lead to the capture of dangerous criminals. It led to the development of new training programs for law enforcement officers, focusing on identifying and investigating serial predators. These programs emphasize the importance of understanding criminal behavior, forensic science, and the latest investigative techniques. The case also highlighted the importance of public awareness and vigilance. Communities were encouraged to take an active role in their own safety, attending public safety meetings and staying informed about potential threats. It taught people to be more aware of their surroundings, to trust their instincts, and to report any suspicious activity to the authorities. This heightened sense of vigilance has undoubtedly helped prevent further tragedies and has made communities safer overall. Even with Wilder's death, questions lingered. The full extent of his crimes may never be known. Some believe there may be other victims, their stories lost to time. The authorities continued to investigate unsolved cases from the late 1970s and early 1980s, hoping to find a connection to Wilder. DNA evidence has helped to solve some cold cases, but many remain open. The families of the victims still search for answers, for closure, for some measure of justice. Christopher Wilder may be gone, but the terror he inflicted lives on. He is a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface, the evil that can hide in plain sight. His case serves as a warning, a reminder to be vigilant, to protect the vulnerable, and to never forget the victims.